Hey guys, welcome to the Rainbow and Bloom channel. I'm Melissa, and today I wanted to talk to you about something a little bit political, but I mean, it's not really political, but it's something that's relevant to us as people who live with disabilities, have loved ones with disabilities, or have had disabilities, and still some challenges, and understand how important the issue is. Disability rights. I mean, wanted to talk to you about that and say hey, because I haven't been on here for a while. And just to let you know, in case you're new, I do this almost every time I do a video. This is the Rainbow and Bloom channel. I'm Melissa, and I'm the author of the book How Death Saved My Life, which is on Amazon Kindle and Amazon paperback. And I tell the story of my recovery from late stage cancer and scleroderma. And this is a channel about living and thriving with the autoimmune disease known as scleroderma. Please like if you like and share if you care. Thank you very much for being here today. And so I don't know if you guys visit or subscribe to The Mighty. The Mighty is a website with, I guess it's like a blog site where different people blog on issues pertaining to health and illness in particular. And recently on the channel, it's not on YouTube, it's a website called The Mighty. There's an article, Why Bernie Sanders' Disability Proposal is Revolutionary. And, you know, a lot of people support Bernie. Bernie is very much a people person. He has a long track record of fighting for justice for all kinds of people, you know, equality and equity for everybody. And, you know, so he's running and he's a front runner in New Hampshire and everything. I'm not telling you to vote for, I'm just sharing this with you because it's really important. There's so many things going on with budget cuts, to Medicaid, Medicare, you know, all kinds of craziness going on. And somebody's calling me. And so, you know, it's important to just keep up with issues, especially that relate to you specifically. So Bernie says, and I quote, "It's time for us to acknowledge that disability rights are civil rights. A society that does not center the voices and needs of people with disabilities has yet to fulfill its most basic obligations." In his much-awaited plan entitled Fighting for Disability Rights, Bernie proposes revolutionary policies that will free disabled people from the shackles of the American system, which has too often treated us as third-class citizens. So, you know, this is for me one of the things that separates Bernie from the pack. There's a lot of things, but this is one of the things that, you know, usually people aren't talking about disability rights really. It's never really like at the forefront of policy debates or anything. People talk about all kinds of things, police brutality and healthcare in general, but the specific needs of the disabled kind of, you know, falls by the wayside. It's like an afterthought, you know. But we're living in a time when more and more people are becoming chronically ill and disabled because of it. So this is a really big issue. So here are some of the things that Bernie plans to do. Increase and index the supplemental security income benefit level to 125% of the federal poverty line. This proposal finally sends the message to those of us with disabilities that if we cannot work, we do not deserve to live in poverty. I'm just reading from the blog itself. I don't have to add anything. It's like so on point. But in other words, disabled people have intrinsic economic value to society beyond what we are able to earn in the labor market. So Bernie will also do away with the Social Security disability insurance benefits cliff. raising the substantial gainful activity threshold to 250% of the poverty level. That way, before disabled people are jettisoned from the Social Security rolls for working, the government must first ensure that we earn over double the federal poverty level. And as it stands right now, blind adults may make $2,100 a month, and those with other disabilities may earn $1,260 a month, creating a system where disabled people are disincentivized from working, which is true, and forced to choose between our benefits and having any gainful employment. So I remember I got a job in my field, and I was really excited about it because, I went to school for this and I wanted to get some experience under my belt because it had been years since I started school, and like my illness kind of put all this time between when I started and when I could get my degree, and then I wanted to work. But I had to think about balancing, I had to think about basically not losing my benefits, and the pay was okay pay, and but it still would have put me over the limit. And so there is like this, I didn't keep the job for a couple of reasons. One of which, I realized that I would not be able to get up every morning and go to some job and sit and pay attention and learn and participate every day. I knew I wasn't quite there yet. This is about 3 years ago. So I didn't actually stay, but I think if it weren't for that, the risk of losing my benefits, I would have tried a little harder. But I thought about it, and I really didn't want to face the day when I would lose my benefits. It's just, it gives you like this feeling of insecurity, having this guarantee there. It's just peace of mind, and it's stress that you can avoid. But if you have a job, and I'm single, I don't have a husband, I don't have a inheritance, trust fund and all that. So it's a lot to think about, when you are able to get in, because a lot of us can't even get insurance if we get sick at a young age and never got to work. So don't qualify for disability or anything. That's really hard. But when you have that and you're used to having that safety net, and you want to keep it, because you could get a job and then lose that job anyway, if for no other reason than you can't fulfill it. Like I knew I wouldn't be able to really follow through, taking days off of work and all that, as a new employee. There are other things to think about. And so, and it was full time, and so it's a lot to think about, and it's scary. So I really appreciate this about Bernie Sanders making this issue, at all a priority. And so I'm going to leave a link so you can check out that that article, and just give some information. I'm sure you can relate. A lot of you can relate if you're somewhat able. And it's really frustrating that you want to have a life, but then they put all these limitations on you. Even the ticket to work is kind of tricky. I think I mentioned in a previous video that I had filled out the application and everything, but all of the jobs, like customer service, and that was a lot of it. Customer service, you're on the phone at home. Yes, you're on the phone at home. You can be in your flip-flops and your pajamas, but you have to stay awake. And you have to be present, and your mind has to work right. Doesn't take into consideration a lot of things that go with at least this kind of disability, where there's mental fog and just fatigue and pain to think about. So yeah, it's tricky. So hopefully, we get a president, whoever he is, who kind of just leaves our stuff alone, because we need it. It's not a trick. We actually need these benefits. So check it out. I'm going to put the link. Tell me what you think. What has been your experience with working with your disability? How's it gone for you? Do you work full time or part time? And so, what do you think about? Read the article. What do you think about this proposal? All right. Thank you for listening. And yeah, I let me know what you think. Stay engaged. Talk to me. Email me at rainbowandblue@gmail.com if you have any questions. And I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.